Was anyone else surprised about waking up to all the chaos? I wasn't, and I'll tell you why. Every single holiday that they have you participate in is you are pouring energy into it. Yes, everyone's out. What are they doing? Is it anything good? No, no. They're out altering their consciousness with alcohol and hedonism, basically, right? Just being heathens. Oh, it's a new year. This is a great way to bring it in, right? Let's drink a bunch of alcohol and be belligerent and do it in large crowds and large groups, and let's shoot off fireworks, right? And just create a bunch of noise. That's one thing, right? You got to understand every single holiday has nothing to do with anything that you think it does, right? Like I walked in the store this morning. I had to go get my cat some cat food and, whatever. And they've already got Valentine's stuff out. And I was like, goodness gracious. My manager comes in and she's like, oh, I've got to decorate for Valentine's. And I'm like, just thinking, this is just a never ending cycle of useless consumerism. But, anyways. Okay, so everyone may think, right, these people, they get together and they, put on these robes and they sacrifice, a goat or something, right? And there may be people who actually do, right? But the overall is that they don't have to. And this is the science behind magic, right? You are magic, whether you think so or not. It is just someone else is directing your magic into their cause, right? That work schedule is their magic. They are directing your movement for their cause on a quantum level. Why? Because should you break out of that, then it would create an energy separate from their cause. Okay, let's look at it like this. You know how some people will say, oh, I saw a butterfly and that reminded me of my passed away grandmother or something, right? It was like something I remember her by or blah, 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 right? Or I always think that that's my, it comforts me, right? That's a symbolism, a language that you understand delivering information in a particular way to you. Yes, right? So if you observe your day, right? Like when I go out in public, I sometimes pay attention or I won't like wear earbuds because I need clarity on something and I expect it to be spoken through the people that I pass by or something. They'll say like particular things, right? And it gives me the information that I need, right? That's a quantum movement, yes? Like, I woke up yesterday morning, came out, sat down, and I smelled kerosene. Before I ever read the update on the article, I said, oh, that smells like kerosene, right? And I know that smell because my grandfather had a kerosene heater whenever I was little. And I just thought that was weird, right? Well, then the rest of my day, I paid attention to everything that I did, everything that I saw. And then a story comes together, right? Whatever you need information for, the story comes together through your movement. Whenever I make food or something, I can see like what I need to see in my food, right? I can look at the sky. If I have a dream that I can't quite like um, untangle, I can look at the sky and then I'll get the rest of the information, right? So your movement through the day offers a whole other language to you. And this is magic. Your movement is magic, right? Their movement is magic, right? Recruiting you into their like purpose and their whatever, right, contributes to their these things that happen, yes. Because you're dumping your energy into that, right? I don't know if I'm explaining this the best way. Uh Here's the second part of that, yeah. Okay. Order out of chaos, yeah. I could go set things that are symbolic up in particular places, yes, and it will cause a reaction. This is alchemy. It will cause a reaction in real time, right? I can take some coils, a battery pack, some blah, 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 blah to a board, and it'll look like nothing to you. And I could go sit it somewhere, right? And not too far off in the future, what's going to happen? That thing is going to materialize in your physical world as whatever it was meant to, right? So I don't actually have to be the one to go and do the nefarious act. I just need to do the symbolic version of it, in particular, whatever, and it will materialize into that. That's the best way to explain this, yes? That's why I encourage do good chaos, right? Like what happened to your creativity? What happened to your hobbies, right? But that's how that operates, guys. That's why you see these everyone's saying, "Oh, look at this symbol and how that like is related to this." Like you're getting the pattern, but you're not understanding the result, right? Like the pattern leads to the result. Yes? The symbolic patterns lead to a real world result. That is how they operate. That is their secret. So they don't actually have to do the nefarious act. No, they just need to symbolically do it and then it will materialize. And that's why they spend so much time doing these rituals and the symbolic shit that you see, right? So that it materializes. That's why I encourage you do your own thing. Yes. So that you are on a level playing field with these nefarious, I like to call them nefarious fox. Yeah. Right. Because something that I learned on my journey while I was paying very close attention to the order of things, right? I was like, oh, wow, some shithead set up my order, right? Like whenever you're a child, someone sets up your order and they don't set you up for success. They certainly fucking, right? And so you go through life and you're like, why is it no matter? Because somebody else already created the fucking pattern for you. You got to rewrite the pattern. Yeah, that's how that works. This is how this works. On a very technical quantum level, this is how this works. It just needs to be symbolic for it to materialize. That is golden information for the average person. That's that's the culmination of what everyone needs to understand, right? Because they're getting the symbolic things, right? Like I have a comment, I'll post it on my community post where a guy said, well, this happened, and then lightning struck the Empire State Building, that other building, and this building, and the truck was like, yes, see, it all just needs to be. This is why we have to be careful about how we move in the world. We have to be careful about how we operate. We have to be careful about where we go, what we do, right? Because it's like moving math, right? It's like moving math that is going to create a result, a reaction, right? It's like mixing ingredients, it's going to create a reaction in the real world. That's why I say it's so important to be in control of your own consciousness, to be alert, to not alter your consciousness in poisonous ways, right? So that you are the one consciously making your movement and doing the math in your life and in the world and putting that out into the world, right? because it creates these things. Yes, it's not the elite that are just doing it, it's everyone doing their rituals, their holidays, their this and that. I have a motto: when everyone else is quiet, be loud. When everyone else is moving, be still. Yeah, that's why I work overnight, right? That's why I do things the way that I do them, because I understand this, if one must know. So, that is the big secret. That is how all of this stuff comes to be. And if anyone thinks that they are exempt from contributing to that, they're sadly mistaken, right? And just like I was talking about yesterday with things being able to take control of your consciousness and this and that, if you are not in control of it, then the nefarious will come in and use you to be the puppet for that end equation. Yes, the nefarious will use you to carry out. It's like, well, it would be like the end of the prayer for relief, right? Like there are all these ingredients mixed in, and you're wanting this result. Well, the nefarious is going to go find somebody to carry out this result of the math that you just put into the universe. Yeah, that's how that works. So, not surprised, right? And there was also something that happened in Hawaii with the fireworks. Pictures are interesting. I always tell you, like, there is a snake in it. There's a lot of stuff in it, right? Like, start looking at this as pictures, because what is in the pictures, what is showing up as like characters in it, is all part of the spiritual science, the alchemical science, right? And another part of this alchemy thing is their alchemy is robbing the earth and taking like rocks from the earth and creating like uranium and all of these things, right? Crystals, and will create these foams and these minerals and stuff like that's their alchemy, right? But there is a real alchemy to where you don't have to rob anyone or anything of anything, right? Have you noticed like the nefarious always thinks they have to like take from something else to put themselves above everyone? Yeah. Right. And then the good doesn't see it that way, right? The good says there needs to be no harm or taking from you, no harm or taking from myself, right? We can just create this. Yeah. Like we can change this organically with no harm involved, with all things considered, right? Well, that's a whole technical conversation for another day, I guess. Yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I can break us down into like layman terms, but it's complex, but not so complex that it can't give people the gist of it and let them think on it, and then eventually it makes sense to them. Yes, that was the goal. I was like, I need to be able to break this down scientifically, I need to be able to break it down like spiritually, and I need to be able to put it in a simple language so that everyone understands. Yeah. And as far as I go, I'm here doing some quantum work for the greater good, right? Last night I recorded a video, said my time is up in Georgia, you know, and then some mention about the other state that I had issue with. Uh, so I don't know what's, you know, I just know I'm here to do things a specific way and move a specific way for the reasons that I just told you, right? Just as people can be used by the nefarious to carry out nefarious things, right? It's like chess. It's like chess between good and evil, yeah. That's what it is. Evil's going to move its pieces the way it moves, and good is going to move its pieces the way it moves. And we call this spiritual warfare. Yeah. So, hopefully, that simplifies why these things happen, why they're happening, right? And sort of empowers you to know that you actually do have some control over how the world looks, right? If everyone would get in alignment with the right things, these people, those things would not exist. They can't exist. Bad knows this. I know this. Right? We can just simply shift them out of here. That is complex, yeah. So that's why you'll never see me like working for their cause or none of that. I'm just not. I don't want to. This place is a prison. It is. And people don't see it. They think that they have to tolerate it until they die. No, that's a trap. You very well have the power. And guess what? You can use the method that I just told you. Right? You know, it's like I say, I am more dangerous with a paintbrush. Yeah. Like, what are they gonna do? Huh? What are they gonna do? Can't lock somebody up for painting. Can't lock somebody up for putting things in specific places, rocks in specific places. You can't, right? And this is the big secret of how to break Satan's laws. Without getting in trouble with his minions. Yeah. Also known as the legal system, you know. Right? Well, understand all of your movement matters. What you do, the order of your life matters. It's like that one time I came out of my town, right? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I live in a place where they have a German Masonic museum, right? And it has all the states. I was driving downtown, and there was a guy who had the what was the first sigil on his window, but he had it upside down. Yeah. But he was parked in front of a place that is connected to a body organ. Right? It looks innocent enough, but if you read the definition of what that is, then that's a body part. Yeah. I was like, you might want to be careful where you park, putting that on your window. Yeah. That's how aware and conscious of my own movement that I am. Yeah. Hopefully that helps.